Hi guys, this is Tony here from Metal Ruse. You're about to sit down and enjoy an interview I just did um, over there, and so do like and subscribe so you can get all this straight into your streaming and into your consciousness as soon as it arrives. So enjoy the interview, and I will. Over to you, Tony. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for coming and chatting. You're coming over to tour with us very, very soon, hey?
Yes. Yes. We're I'm coming over early, of course,
Mm.
but the first show is in Perth, the 31st, and that's our own show. And then Metallica is the next day. And then the day after that, going to the Wiggles. And then that's right. That's right. Who got a problem with that? Who got a
No,
problem?
who's got exactly?
Yeah. Come on. Bring out that fruit salad and get some hot potatoes. It's hopping. Yeah. So no, I'm serious. Yeah.
Yummy,
And
yummy.
then
That's what I'm
and
going to
then
say.
off to
Yeah.
yeah, off to Adelaide and we got a bunch of our shows, the Metallica shows obviously, and then ending it up doing two Psycho Miko shows in the Gold Coast and the Sunshine Coast.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know. See, I didn't see those advertised.
No, they're not advertised, and I'm not supposed to say anything, but that's me.
Oh well.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Fantastic.
yeah,
Because you're coming over with Rob's son on bass, aren't you, Ty?
yeah.
Wow.
So Ty actually just turned last month, turned 21, and he's been playing with us now for six, 6 or 7 years.
Crazy.
So yeah, and it's amazing to see the transformation as you know he bass playing wise, and also as he reminds he's getting to the age where what Robert was when Robert got into the band, and they look very similar and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like it's funny. People always do the joke, "Oh, they got you guys got a time machine," and but it's great. And I think the great thing too, another side of it is, he grew up listening to his dad, and obviously, played with Aussie for years and before Metallica too, and besides Suicidal. And where we're from, there's a lot of um, knowledge of Suicidal.
Mm.
It's a very big cultural thing here. And so he knows like what it means to other people, and then obviously his dad there. But just Robert's family, just great people, and just the most down to earth. Like, you wouldn't know who they were. We just had some people over last week, and they were there. His family was there, and other people had no idea who they were. They're talking, and I was like, "Yeah, that's Robert. Bass player. He's in Metallica. What? That's you didn't say." And he goes, "He's what's he gonna say?"
Yeah.
So it's like you didn't say it. Like, what am I going to say? So it's they're that kind of people. There's really good people and stuff. So
Yeah, because I just went back to the single that you released earlier in the year. Just had a
yeah,
to Adrenaline Addict,
yeah.
and I was just blown away. I forgot how good it was. I was like, geez, he's good. Ty, like, is that Ty on there? It's on.
So the everything is convoluted with what I did originally. That was a song that I was doing, and this new thing I was doing with Josh, who was our old bass player, and and uh, and Nisha singing, and then everybody was like, when I was playing it, it's like, "Oh, dude, that's a new Suicidal. Oh, let me, oh, that's cool." And I'm like, "No, it's not." And lyrically, musically, we're like, you know what? It is very Suicidal. So Josh is actually doing the slapping. Ty's playing bass on it. It's got double bass on it.
Wow.
Ty's doing the other bass, like it's almost like bass leads.
Mm.
And which he's like gnarly lead bass player. He's like really
Oh, it's amazing.
incredible.
Yeah.
And when we do like Send Me Your Money or whatever, just he's got a really incredible feel for that. And then we, have obviously Jay and Ben play. And on the Suicidal record, there's going to be a different version. But like, I try to like sing the parts that Nisha sang, and it just didn't sound right. And lyrically, it didn't make sense. And so we like just we'll put this out like how it is this way. And I think it's representative. of what the whole suicidal is. It starts off life isn't fair, and the Nisha's voice and stuff, and it's just me. No one said it would be. And I
Yeah.
think that's just kind of like the whole situation and the yin and yang, you
Mm.
know, angel, devil, mom, dad, whatever kind of thing. And just, there's several ways to say things. Some can be softer, some can be harsher. But the reality of it is, at the end of the day, um, you got yourself, you know, and you could either use your voice and sit on the top of climb a mountain and complain about how the world isn't fair, or you could use your heart and your mind and try to make your world a better place, and set an example and be there for so many people I know. I always say, no one was there for me. And I go, well, then maybe you should be in a position that you could be there for other people, you
Yeah,
know.
lovely. Very,
And
very
if you're not willing to do that, then you can't really feel bad that no one was there for you, you
yeah,
know.
beautiful
And
statement.
so there's a lot of things, and people get pissed when I talk because you're not supposed to say that, and you're supposed to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, come here. Oh, wow." And I know some people have been through. I know some people going through some real stuff right now. Some of my friends had, 3 heart surgeries,
Oof.
and one of them, when he went in, when he came through, he found out that his dad passed away,
Oh my God.
and it goes on, and you're just like going, this is just unbelievable. But he greets you with a handshake and a smile, and he goes, "I'm here today. Got to do what I got to do," and
Man,
you know,
beautiful.
and do it with the best respect and best way, and I respect that a lot.
Yeah. Oh man, it's a wonderful thing, and I think that it comes across in the music, Mike. You've always had a positivity, even though some of the subject matter is hard. There's always a positive side to a lot of it.
Well, I think, so many times, with things, it's with songs, I go, people go, "Oh, you're terrible. That's terrible, this and that." And I go, "You're not really judging me or judging. It's more a reflection of you and how you view things in society and stuff."
Mm.
But, we did How Will I Laugh Tomorrow, and I Can't Even Smile Today. A lot of people go, "That's so negative. That's so depressing, this and that." And I go, "No, that's reality, you
Yeah.
know? And a lot of
Yes.
people, my dad said, they put that fake smile on your face, and you're like, 'How you doing?' 'Oh,' and they make the smile gets, 'Oh, okay, great,' and that fake smile gets even bigger, and you're like, 'No, how you doing?' And they're like, 'I already said I'm doing good. Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.' And you just see them panic because you know that that's not the way that it is, and they're afraid that someone's gonna, they're gonna have to deal with something that they're trying not to deal with, and that's why they're not great. And I'm not saying it. There's Everything is not easy. There's a lot of things that are very difficult, but if you don't deal with the problem, it's kind of like cancer. If you physically have cancer and you just say, "I don't have it," I appreciate your positive thinking, but it's chances are 99.9% it's just going to get worse and it's going to kill you whether you deny. And that's kind of like I used to say, that's the same thing with you know cancer or whatever. You
Mm.
just sit there and you put the fake smile on your face, or you just whatever way you say that you embrace it. Oh, that's just the way it is. It's the same thing. It's like, no, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work in the long term. I'm not judging you, but I'm observing, and you're making the observation really easy to see, you
Yeah.
know. So, and as my dad used to always use the analogy, you don't paint a house with termites. It looks better, but it doesn't do anything for the problem. And
What a great phrase.
the problem is there's a lot of work. You gotta replace board, you gotta do this and that. And it's just so much easier just to paint it, you
Mm.
know. But it just covers it up.
Mm.
And later on, you're going to have a way worse problem, and you're going to wish you could go back and do it right,
Mm.
and which is hard.
Mm.
It's always
Well,
hard.
yeah, well, that's what music is for me. Like, and for a lot of people, I'm sure for you as well. It's that moment when you go to a show, you leave all your problems at the door, for that hour and a half. You can just be free of worries and stress. And I think that's what we as fans appreciate, people like yourself. You give us that relief.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think to a little degree, I get that. And to another side, I sometimes say, I'm not trying to get people to forget about their problems. I'm trying to remind them, to deal with the problems that they should have dealt with before. And
True.
just bringing out that question, not dealing with things as it got made things better,
Yeah. Yeah.
And people will say, so negative. And I go, no, what is more negative? Telling the truth, and it's not the truth. Do I look fat in this? No, no, it's not, is this like, no, no, you look great. It's not that. It's not saying the truth in a sense to be mean, but you know, not acknowledging the truth is really not working for a lot of people, you
Yeah.
know.
But in this modern age, particularly.
And we create, a facade we think we need to do for other people, and not to be the old guy attacking the internet or whatever, but I'm thankful that we didn't really have that when I was young,
Oh, same here. No,
because
exactly. Yeah.
things live on forever, and there's a lot of things that really shouldn't, that don't matter, that are really devastating to people.
Mm.
And I just, fortunately, my so far my kids have gotten through that okay. But I have a lot of friends, their kids, it's just like something happens and you just want to say it doesn't matter, but you put yourself in that position and you go, but if it was me, everyone's going to say that. But I'm like going to be, but yeah, it's easy to give advice to people when it isn't your problem. They used to have a person called Dear Abby here,
Mm.
and my dad always used to say it's easy to be Dear Abby with other people's problems,
Yeah.
and when it's yours, a lot of times but it's, oh, I know, but, and you would give the advice that you don't take to someone else, but the advice, but you don't follow through because it's hard, you know, and that's the whole thing. It is hard,
Yeah.
but it's harder if you don't do anything.
Yeah. I'm so glad I raised my children before the internet. Mine are
Yeah.
adults, and so they sort of became adults towards the beginning of it. And
Mhm.
so like we sort of like see two sides of it. My nephew, how he reacts and how my kids react. It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
And of course musically as well. I mean, you can reach more people now with your message, far more than you used to be able to because of this.
Yeah. And it's the catch 22 because, going back to the old dude, you know, 30 years ago, before the internet, um, if someone said, "Hey, you can listen to any songs you want for the next 24 hours," I would stay up for 24 hours and I would listen to every song. Oh, I want to hear this song. I can hear this song. I can hear this. Now, when you can do that, 24/7, listen to anything. You don't listen to as much music. It doesn't have that same meaning, and that's understandable. And so music is created to be more disposable, I think,
Mm,
and that's life. That's the way that it works, you know.
mm.
And we could say back, the music that still means the most to me. Someone actually came out, dude, you got to listen to this. And sometimes it was on vinyl or cassette, and they play it, and I'd be like, whoa, And sometimes I liked it, sometimes I didn't, but it meant something to someone so much that they wanted to share that and stuff. And there isn't that kind of connection. Music a lot of times has become background and to people. And going back, and not to say that we're different or whatever, but that's what adrenaline addict to me was. There were certain songs that I'd be scared to go skate down the hill. I'd be afraid to do this or that, but I would listen to a certain song or two, and then I'm like, let's do it, And if I
Yeah.
fall, I fall. But if I don't try, it's going to bother me more when I try to go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. It's when you feel like you're alive. It's medically speaking, everybody can go there. They could take your pulse, this and that. But when you feel alive, and when you're moved, whether it's physically or not, but you've had that feeling and that excitement, that's a great experience. And fortunately, I still feel that when we do shows. And that's what we would try to get across to people. Is it just like there's a lot of music, there's a lot of ways to do things, but you need to move someone, whether it's physically or mentally, and sometimes in both ways is the best and stuff.
Mm.
So it's not an easy thing to do, and we're not going to be the band to do it for a lot of people, but if we can do it to a certain amount of people, like the few things I like, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
That's better than the gold records I got and the Grammy nominees and that. And so it's kind of like it's easier when you're opening up for Metallica and you're playing in front of 70, 80,000 people
Mm,
a night. There's a lot more people that haven't seen you, so you get that opportunity. But in the same sense too, like when I do the Psycho Miko shows,
mm.
like we're gonna be playing some songs that never the record's not gonna be out till next year.
Wow.
And when I was talking earlier, when we did the Warp Tour in '99, that's the first time that we had the Freedom record. Before it came out, we were playing some of those songs live, and it was like that's what you do when you start off as a band. You play songs people don't know them, and you just have to make the songs work. It's not like, oh, I know that.
Yeah.
And so for the Psycho Michael, that's one of the things I'm super happy about. We're able to go from the huge Metallica stage to our shows to doing a Psycho Michael in little clubs and playing songs that people never heard.
Brilliant.
And
Oh
to
my
me, that
God.
sums up music in the best light. To be able to have that is amazing. And then
Yeah.
doing it in Australia is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Big tour. It's good. I mean, I was getting on to talk about the single before we go quickly. I was listening to it, right? And
uh-huh.
man, it drew me to, like, I was listening, I thought, God, I'm listening to the Buzzcocks. You know, it had this sort of sense of, ever fallen in love. I felt that with it. I don't know why. And then also GBH was like pumping. I was like, this is
Yeah.
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, I used to call the Buzzcocks the punk rock Beatles. I wasn't a big Beatle fan,
Yeah.
but I appreciated what they did very much. And it was not we were the only maybe the original pop punk band or whatever
I
in my
agree.
mind. People call them punk rock back then, but
Mm.
um, they had a lot of fast cars. I hate fast cars. That I just it
Orgasmatic.
was very unpretentious to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like they weren't trying to be spitting loogie.
Yeah.
We're so uneducated and that and I got something out of it that a lot of my friends didn't, and so I kind of appreciated them. And but yeah, it's funny because sometimes people talk about things, and I was like, well, I don't really get that association, but I do that with things, and I take that as a positive. And it's the same thing too. It's like with Nisha when she's singing Adrenaline and
Yeah.
stuff. It's like I couldn't do that, you
No,
know,
it's beautiful.
and
Yeah.
it's kind of like the contrast where it's at like skating down a hill. It's that contrast between like, oh my gosh, I'm going so fast. This is, oh wow, the world, wow, this is amazing. And that I might fall anytime. I might fall anytime. It's that heaven, hell, yin yang thing that just I think works really well and stuff. And um there's certain people be like, oh, he's got a girl on it, and all that stuff. And it's like,
No, I love it. Brilliant. Mate.
like I said, I listened to it and I go, if I did it, it just wasn't right. And everybody said that it hurt. It just doesn't have the same feel and stuff. So it's I love it. It's very um, it's an important song to me, and I think that's the barometer you go by and stuff. And
Yeah,
then
well,
Nisha's Australian too, so that's cool.
it is, and it was the first one in 7 years, so it's good to have and
Yeah,
have out there. Hey, we're gonna wrap things up, Mike, because I know you've got other things to do. Um, Thanks for chatting. Thanks for coming on,
cool.
and really enjoy the tour and enjoy the country. There's lots of people I know are so looking forward to seeing you. So
Yeah,
me included. So
yeah,
hopefully we'll get to see you.
and me included too. So yeah,
Yes.
definitely, definitely.
All right.
So it's funny because I've just started recently doing the interviews, and we're going, like I said, I think I said we're going to flying to Cypress Hill this week, and
Mm,
we're flying to do a thing with Slayer, and then we're doing a couple of festivals, but we're like booking all the tickets and stuff for Australia. So it's kind of like, oh man, and doing the interviews, and it's just like kind of getting exciting again, to be
good.
like, I just want to get out there and stuff. So
Good.
it's great.
All right, my friend. Thanks for
Cool.
chatting. And again, thanks for everything you do for us. We love it. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Cool. Hopefully see you out there.
We'll see you there. Bye, mate.
Bye bye.